I lived in Kenya. I grew up in Kenya. I was born there. And I'm standing in front of a tree, holding onto the branch, sort of pulling myself up a bit, and dressed really actually quite smartly. I think I long socks and a nice little dress. And then behind me is a picture of like the first house my dad built for us as a family. Oh, and it was the best house ever. I mean, it was like we moved around a lot after that, but I had my formative years growing up there, and I just loved that house. And every time we go back, I go back to Kenya, I go back to that road, and sadly the house is gone, but and it's transformed beyond recognition. But yeah, that was me. I was smiling. I was quite an intense child, quite happy. I look quite sweet, I think.
Let's see. That's so cool that your father built that house.
Yeah, he built lots of houses. He was a civil engineer, and that's what he did.
Amazing.
Well, part of the time.
You look like a very sweet child.
Yeah, I think I was kind of quiet, but I was happy.
If you'd like to pop that up, we have a little
yeah, sure. Yeah.
So your father was a civil engineer.
Mm-hmm.
What did your mom do?
My mum she used to work in a bank, but after she had children, she then started, my dad set up his business, after I think I was a baby actually, my dad set up his own business, and then she really helped him sort of, with typing and answering the phone, and while she was bringing me up. Amazing. So she always supported my dad. Yeah. And she was also a stay-at-home mum in a sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And are you an only child?
No, I have one brother. My brother is 4 years younger than me, and he's in the hotel business as well. He's in this sort of catering hotel business.
Were you guys close growing up?
Yeah, very close actually. We had a really sort of just a very tight family. And we played a lot together. We fought a lot together. We hung out. Even though there was an age gap, we were really close.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious about growing up in Kenya. What was that like?
Amazing. As a child, I just don't think there could have been anything better. Mm-hmm. It's very outdoorsy. And then as you can see from that picture, we had a huge garden in front of our house. Mm-hmm. And so the land was amazing because you could just go out and play. It was very, very free. We didn't have, we could have had board games and stuff like that, but we didn't have so much of that. We had a lot of sort of, after the house was built, maybe about 3 years later, my dad built a swimming pool, and so we were just always in and out of the water, or playing with, making mud pies in the garden, and we had all sorts of kind of creatures in the, birds and lizards, and not that we kept them, they were just naturally there. I've seen snakes in the garden. It was just a lovely kind of wholesome life.
Mm-hmm. And how long did you stay there for? Was that your whole childhood?
That was a house we stayed in for maybe about, I don't know exactly, 10 years or so. And then my dad built another house that we moved to, which was really also very nice. Yeah. And then I did my teens in that house. Mm-hmm. And then I left Kenya, and I went to England to school to do my A-levels. And I think somewhere in there, my dad sold that next house and built another house. And then all the other houses that we moved into after that were never really home, because they were just never where I, spent long enough. Mm-hmm. I think memories are really created by, having your own room and your own stuff around you, and your, eating together. And when you leave home and then go back, it's all just temporary. Mm-hmm. And I think there was a bit of kind of annoyance at the house changing. And it was never actually we didn't really have a say in it. It was kind of, my dad did it because in a sense they would make their homes so beautiful. My mum was an amazing gardener and an amazing house kind of beautifier. So people would, really like our houses when they were really mature. The gardens were mature and everything. And then they would offer them a nice sum of money. And then my dad would take that money and build something else. Or he would have started already building something. And then they would move and do the same thing.
And what was your first memory of childhood? Do you have a specific
Oh
memory?
my, yeah. I really remember, and I don't know if this is a memory of a photograph or a real memory, but I remember spending time in Lamu, which is a beautiful island in Kenya. And it's in those days it was quite difficult to get to. You can fly, or you can, drive and take boats, but it's hard to get to from where I lived in Mombasa in those days. And my dad did a lot of marine construction work out there, so he would spend quite a lot of time away from home in Lamu, and then we would go there for holidays and stuff. So we had some great times. And then an uncle of mine set up a seafood restaurant there, so we'd have happy holidays there, staying in his home. And it's a beautiful old coastal Muslim island. And even now, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site now. So it's very sought after and very expensive to go to now. But I have so many memories of just eating crab and lobster in my uncle's restaurant, and riding donkeys and listening to the early morning call to prayer. It was just magical.